Hello, everybody. We're about to listen to the next episode of Inside the Skev. This week, I am speaking with Yuval Degani, who is the founder of Dreamtown Realty, which is the company that I work for. It's a fascinating interview to learn about his story and the story of Dreamtown. So stay tuned and enjoy. And also, just to remind you, I am a real estate agent. And if you want to learn more about me and what I do, just go to aaronmasliansky.com. Thanks, and let's start the show. Welcome to Inside the Skev, and I'm your host, Aaron Masliansky. Today, we're sitting down here with the owner of Dreamtown Realty, Yuval Degani, a company that I work for, and very excited to have Yuval on. Yuval, thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So, Yuval, you've been in real estate for a while. You started Dreamtown about 21 years ago. Is that right?
21 years ago, yep.
Yeah. So tell us, why did you start a real estate company?
Well, I was not intending on starting a real estate company. I was actually shopping for a house. This is a true story. And all of you people listening, don't do what I did. And at the time, it was 40 hours to get the license. And I figured that if I get the license in 40 hours, I could actually make the commission.
Okay.
So this is totally why I got a real estate license, because I wanted to make the commission. And I'm from Israel. I don't know if you know this. So, but I got hooked. I got hooked immediately, and people started asking me questions, and I started walking out with clients. And I've never been employed. I've never had a job.
Really?
Yes. It never occurred to me that I'd go work somewhere. So the first thing I did was I immediately opened the company.
So you never worked for another brokerage or anything?
I've never worked for another brokerage. Just went ahead and opened the company, and it was a blessing and a curse. It was a curse because there were so many things I did not know.
Yeah.
I had to reinvent the wheel. It was a blessing because I feel that I took an entirely different approach from traditional real estate at the time, in that my idea was that if I was going to grow a company, I'd have to provide people with business.
Right.
And that's why I created a leads program at the time. I went and created websites. The internet was starting. It was 98. Google has just been formed. Timing was perfect. We're one of the first real estate websites in the nation, really, and one of the first Google advertising. We were paying 3 cents a click when we started. 3 cents.
That's
and
nothing.
and that's how the company started. We actually started like as a web company.
Did you have experience in web before?
No. Before that, I owned Chicago's first bicycle rental. I came from Israel, and a year after being here and waiting tables, my buddy and I were looking for something to do, and we noticed there were no bike rentals on the lakefront. So we wrote a letter to the park district. Hi, you have no bike rentals. We want to bring bike rentals. And they called us in for an interview, and we got the concession. And with 2 years, we had 5 locations. And as a result of that, I worked only in the summers.
That's amazing.
And in the winters, I was looking for things to do. So, Photoshop and Max came out, and I started I designed a website with front page at the time, and got interested in Google. I optimized the sites myself. It was SEO. It was enough to write the word that you wanted to get it on the first page of Google. So I put the word Chicago real estate 7 times on the site, and boom, it was the first page of Google. It was really at the beginning, completely lucky. That's how it started.
And none of these other real estate companies realized that back then, did they?
Not at the time, no. And again, just really a lot of luck, like good timing and place sort of thing, yeah.
That's amazing. And why did you come to Chicago?
So after leaving Israel after the army, I lived in London for a year, decided that I wanted to come to the States, and I had one friend who was later my partner in the bike business, Josh Squire, and he was in Chicago. So I came to Chicago, and then one thing led to another, and I'm still here.
That's amazing. And where did you first buy property in Chicago?
I bought property in the West Loop.
Before everything started.
Before it started, in 1978, I bought a 3-flat for $180,000. In 1998, I'm sorry.
Okay.
For $180,000 3-flat.
And what made you decide to buy a 3-flat and in the West Loop at that time?
Actually, I bought 2 3-flats next to each other.
Okay.
One I deconverted into a single-family home, and the next one I kept as an investment. I'm a big believer in 3-flats.
Why 3-flats? What do you think is so good with an investment with a 3-flat?
So my belief is that every person should and can own three flats. Three flats. That's the ticket. Why three flats? Three flats are easier to manage than bigger buildings. There's no expectations for a management company, so small investors could do it. Three flats you can buy, which is I actually did my first one, an FHA loan. So you get an owner-occupied three flats with 3% down.
That's like nothing.
Right. And you're owner-occupied, you live, you get a great rate. And you can completely manage it. It helps you pay the mortgage. And when you're done with it and you're ready to move on to the next one, you may already have some equity there, and then you flip it into the next one. And I believe that if you get three flats, and by the time you're ready for retirement, and you could start any age you start, even on a 30-year fixed, it's paid for. And the three flat in any market after expensive and everything is going to be a minimum of $10,000 in income, which is a great retirement piece. It's like a real great safety net that any person with any job can manage. It's easy. I mean, three flats is something that anybody can self-manage.
And it's a lot safer than the stock market too.
Historically, real estate has always been the best investment.
Right. It's kind of the
But it's a
backbone of this
long-term play.
country.
It really is a long-term play, though. So when people ask me, what happens with the market? What do you think about the market? And when you're investing in real estate, it just doesn't matter. Right. Whether prices, are they up, are they down? If you're a long-term player playing for 30 years to hold your property, it just doesn't matter.
Right, because there's always going to be a need for the housing. And if you can keep it rented, then you're fine.
That's all it is.
That makes a lot of sense. So you started this company, and what were your goals for Dreamtown when you first opened it?
So the name Dreamtown.
Yeah, how's that coming about?
The name, who would call this company Dreamtown?
Yeah.
So basically, my partner at the time, Avi, was in charge of building, and he was building contemporary homes, which later we discovered were not so much in demand at that time. Now they're a little bit more, but at the time, all anybody wanted was traditional homes with crown moldings. And the name Dreamtown kind of fit that. And the real estate was pretty much an afterthought. It's like, we'll also do some real estate on the side. The idea was to be more of a builder of contemporary homes. But the real estate really took a turn, and it got developed, and the internet came, and, we grew and grew and grew 50, 100, and it just kept on growing. So everything kind of happened.
That's typically how things grow, I guess, in companies where you have this spark of an idea and then it just happens to be, and you just kind of roll with it, right?
It's a time and place. It really is. When I look at everything, it's a time and place. Even the biggest crises that we've ever had turn out to be a time and place. I'll give you 2008, for example. We all crashed. Yeah. I invested in a lot of real estate. I was caught with a lot of developments, and everything just went sour. And as a company, when 2008 happened in August, nobody was ready for that. And company-wide, we sold $5 million for the whole company in the month of August of 2008.
How do you
over 100
pay
agents.
Overhead and everything?
You don't. It was scarier than it was horrible. But what happened is there was a shrinkage in the market. A lot of companies couldn't stay. And so our strategy at the time was to acquire as many agents as we can. Yeah. And having had the lead system and the internet presence, a lot of brokers who before didn't want to be part of what we do started all of a sudden to want those leads and to come in to help them. So we've grown it with the numbers of brokers significantly when that happened to try to create the same revenue we had before. We just needed a lot more brokers to do it. That was the problem. But the blessing occurred when the market turned. All of a sudden, we had double the amount of brokers we had before. Back to the original market, now we had double the revenue. Yeah. Had we not been in 2008, we wouldn't have experienced that growth.
Well, it's like, in Forrest Gump, when they're out on the shrimp boat and all the other boats get destroyed, and Forrest is the only one out there, and they become hugely successful. It's the same thing,
right? Yeah. Shrimp business,
shrimp, any type of shrimp,
right?
Yeah. So you that really helped you. I mean, but what do you think? What is what do you enjoy the most about running this business?
My passion is in serving people and helping them grow in ways that are meaningful to them. So, as when I meet somebody who comes to the company, my question is not how are you going to increase your sales? My question is, what do you want to do? Mm-hmm. What do you want? What does your life look like? Because I believe the real estate career is not the goal. It's a means to an end. It's a way to serve your life. So some people will answer that question by saying, I want to be the number one agent in your office.
Yeah, they've got that goal.
They have that goal. And some people will say, my goal is to sell X amount of dollars. And some people will say, I want to make $5,000 a month and play piano the rest of the time. I actually got that answer.
It's good to know, though, to know yourself.
Right. And so we are here to help people do exactly what they want to do. We just want them to work smarter and not harder.
Right.
And that's why we put the tools and the technology and all the things that we do, because we can. And that's the mission. So that's my passion, is seeing people become happier and more successful. And that's what we do.
Yeah, and you have a whole in-house marketing staff, too, that really helps the agents put everything out there.
We do. We have a large marketing department, and we always innovate, and we do things that are considered outside the box. We have an in-house videography department.
Right.
And we have like a video staff that goes out and does whatever crazy ideas you have. Your video, for example, was
right.
something that I love. Like, you have... That's actually one of my favorite videos, the video you put out, like the King's Cut story, like the 3 generations of the barbershop. I mean, that's a story. It's a great story.
What's interesting with King's Cuts is I had them on this podcast, and, they've been in the business for 57 years, and It's a father-daughter. And I went in there for a haircut on this past Friday, and I walk in, this other guy walked in right at the same time. And he apparently had not been there in 26 years.
26 years. Wow.
26 years, but his family still lives in the Chicagoland area, but he moved out to London and Boston, but he was in town to visit family, and he heard the podcast and really was just like wanted to go back and see Mickey and Liz. And it was the coolest thing to kind of share that story.
Wow. And did they remember him 26 years later?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They remembered his whole family.
That's incredible.
It's incredible.
That's incredible.
So I think the video, like you're saying, sharing the story and, story, my own story, my neighborhood story. I mean, that's how you connect with people,
You're very much a storyteller. You are. I remember that's another line I remember from your video. Like, everything has a story, and I know many of these stories. Mm-hmm. And you like to tell the stories. The stories are great.
They are. It's how people connect with each other. I think that's why people like, listening to these podcasts, whether it be this or anything else, because they want to hear the story. It's interesting. It's better than a short tidbit that you see on social media.
Right.
And I think that that's part of, what we're doing as real estate agents is telling the story of the house and telling it by being there and talking about it, or having the photos or having a video or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah. And then, also like some of the things that you do for, the company does for the agents and whatnot. I mean, you even have these coaching groups, and you've got, tell us, I mean, do you do coaching also? I mean, for yourself?
Coaching greatly impacted my life. I found that in running this business, I was stuck for years. I was stuck at a certain number that I couldn't surpass. And I couldn't understand why. And when I started to coach, it very quickly became clear that the only thing standing in my way was myself. Mm-hmm. And having some awareness around where my strengths are, where are the places that I need support, understanding where people in my management team, what they want, what would serve them better. It was a very quick process for me to understand what that looks like and to implement that. And within, I think, 3-4 years, I quadrupled the business.
Really?
Yeah. And I see that happening also to people who are doing coaching in their sales career. It's the same exact thing.
Because it kind of takes away those barriers that you got in your mind?
The thing is that I can't see my own nose. That's always how I like to explain coaching. And I need a mirror in front of me. Everybody else can see my nose but me. Right. I coach people. I do a lot of that kind of work. And It's funny because many times you'll talk to somebody, it's completely obvious to you where that person's stuck and they can't see it. It could be somebody very, very talented with a lot of skill and a lot of know-how, and there's be that one thing or there are two things that they're just not aware of. And when people pay attention to those things, and it's a very simple question. You ask somebody, what can you do to make your life better? Mm-hmm. Every person when asked that will close their eyes and tell you exactly what that looks like. Every person. You ask the person, where do you want to be in 5 years? Any person who close their eyes and actually realize what they want in life to look like. The question is always, why don't we do the things that we know that we need to do, right?
Right. Why don't we?
Well, in my personal case, like I'm such an fiercely independent person that I can't stand anybody telling me what to do, including myself. So
okay, it's that extreme.
That's my barrier, right? For every person, it's something different. Typically, it has to do with fear.
Yeah,
and it has to do with not wanting to step out of comfort zone, which is another form of fear.
Yeah,
and many times most of the time, these fears are unfounded and rooted in childhood. These are things that we learn, limiting beliefs that we learn, behaviors that we learn, that we carry on as children, yet we sometimes, the kid drives the bus for the adult, right?
Oh, for sure.
Happens all the time.
Happens to me.
So to every person. I've never met somebody who does it. A big piece, of course, are judgments. Everybody having judgments about themselves and others. That's a huge one. So learning to not judge yourself because you'll fail. Many people fear the self-judging so much that they won't try something because they feel a failure and they feel the judgment that comes with it. Things like that. And this is not a psychology piece that, we're not licensed therapists. It's just like everybody knows their patterns. And when we discuss it in a coaching piece and you get deep and you look into it and then you offer the support to some of your coaching. So what would you like to do? And the person actually states what they like to do. And then you look at why they may not be doing it and try it. And then they make a decision. And then they come back to you in the next session and discuss how they implemented it.
Right.
And typically they'll be successful. And then they'll have in their direct experience, the experience that they broke a barrier and they're able to do it. In real estate, the classic one is picking up the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we are born helpless, and we can't be alive if somebody doesn't help us. That's just at the core of what we are. If we don't get help, we don't live. Humans can't.
Right. We're dependent on that.
Right. Yeah. And when I speak to people in interviews, and I've had these conversations without exaggeration, with hundreds of maybe not even over 1,000 people, the same exact conversation. Every person that I meet wants nothing but to help other people. It's the most amazing thing. Every person, when he receives a call from somebody asking for their help, all they want to do is help. Mm-hmm. Yet 98% of the people will not take the outgoing call because they're not comfortable. It's outside their comfortable calling somebody, not only asking for help, actually offering help. Like what we do in real estate, we don't ask for help. We're actually offering people help, right? So when we call our clients and are checking in on where they are, we're offering help. But many people they just don't connect that way. They're just very uncomfortable. And so that way they're not keeping in touch with people that they care about, that they served very well, because they have a fear which is unfounded.
Yeah.
So that would be an example.
That would be an example of the coaching. And then I think, one of the things is the group coaching, it allows you to see that other people have the same issues that you do.
Exact same issues.
That's the whole point of it.
That's one side of it. The other side of it is a think tank where you're sitting with your peers and everybody brings their best practice as what they do and how they do it.
Right.
And you give each other ideas and support each other. So coaching is huge.
And then, I think it spurs a lot of collaboration between people. And,
mm-hmm.
You think about it, being in a real estate company, we're all working we're all competing with each other, really, in a way, the agents. But in this office, there's a lot of collaboration. And what's your thought on that? Like why it's better to have a collaborative environment of brokers as opposed to where everyone's cutthroat?
So to me, it really is a collaboration, not a competition. I'll tell you why. So in Chicago, for example, how many brokers are in car?
Oh.
Last number I heard was about 20,000.
It's crazy.
Right. So to think that one broker that's in your office is the one competing with you when there's 20,000, that's the one that's competing with you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I mean, it's so. If we were in a town that had 4 brokers, legitimately each one of them, will be competing. But in Evanston, hundreds and hundreds of brokers. How can the person be next to you be your direct competition? Really, they're not. It's not impossible to have that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've definitely competed for listings.
It's not impossible
that
that occurs, but the thought is that most commonly it's not actually. Most commonly you'll be supporting each other with best practices, and your success wouldn't be the other person's failure.
Right.
Most commonly. And if you're looking at the fact that you're competing against the listing, then you'll win one, they'll win one. But in the big picture, it's not like we're taking food off each other's plates here.
Right.
It's just the state of mind of how we choose to do it. And I think that the collaboration, the growth groups, people sharing strategies, people sharing their ways of marketing properties, the way in which they are able to assist their clients, ways to network, all the things that they share by far exceeds it if they didn't and looked at each other as competitors.
Right.
And everybody that comes to this culture feels that way.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
And I think, just thinking back on how my career started as a real estate broker, when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing, and people helped me and, gave me advice, and that definitely built a relationship with those people. And then when I'm doing transactions with them, it's very comfortable and everything works well for everybody. And, one of my first clients was because I was doing open houses for this one agent, several of them every week. And, as a thank you, she sold a property to this couple. She was the listing agent. They weren't happy with their agent, but they needed to rent something out, another condo in Evanston. So she was busy and she didn't really work on rentals, but she referred me. I think I've done about a dozen transactions with this family now.
Wow.
Just from somebody being kind to me to help me out when I was helping her out as well.
Right.
So I think that shows you it's not necessarily a competition. It is a collaboration.
It really is. Yeah. It really is. And there's nothing that we won't teach.
Right.
We don't have any secrets. We don't.
We don't.
That's why we put everything on video. We're happy to share with everyone what we're doing. We have a training at the company every other week at the training center. And we have brokers who are teaching.
I mean,
other brokers.
Stop with what you just said there. We have a training center.
We have a training center, right.
I mean, That's pretty indicative of the environment.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we're believers in that, in personal growth.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So, I work out of the Evanston office, and Dreamtown has a few offices around the area. Mm-hmm. What inspired you to come to Evanston, and what do you like about that market?
We feel that we bring something that nobody else does in our brand and the way that we relate to people. Dreamtown is a home to people who are independent.
Right.
We grow by attraction.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And I mean, how is being in North Shore different than the city? Because a lot of agents here are in the city, but I mean, do you see a lot of similarities in the market and how things work? And
I think that the North Shore really is a different world.
Yeah,
it's so different from the city. Even the way the agents interact with each other is so different than the city. I feel that North Shore actually has a community.
Yeah.
North Shore, the brokers actually know each other. The brokers in North Shore call each other.
Totally true.
Right? In the city, how many times, and this is a mystery to me, brokers who actually say, please don't call me, text me. Right?
All the time. They don't want to
call
speak.
me, text me.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how we could have a discussion about bringing my clients to your property where I serve my clients and show them exactly what they're looking for without talking to you and asking you questions to see if, in fact, this is what my clients are looking for, so I don't waste your time, my time, and my client's time. And we're just come to that world that people just simply don't communicate, right?
It's so true.
It's amazing. And it's also a generational thing, right?
Yeah.
It really is a generation. We see that it's amazing. Like some of the younger brokers are coming into the world and trying to do their marketing and communicate with people and are not being successful sometimes because they simply will not call people and talk to them. And they don't understand you can't build a business by texting people.
You can't. And you need to be able to ask open-ended questions to people,
Right.
have a conversation.
Right. So the North Shore has this old world, for lack of a better term, vibrancy. Mm-hmm. You know, the open house in the North Shore is still, like the brokers open.
Yeah.
That's still a thing.
Oh, for sure.
Right. And what the purpose of it? Brokers in the North Shore actually go on Tuesdays to see properties for which they have no clients, just so they understand the market and know everything that's going on. This is their professional approach to things. Mm-hmm. In the city, it's not that the brokers are lazy. In the city, the size of the market, you can't possibly go on Tuesdays and see anything significantly. You wouldn't know anything. You know, it would make a difference. But in the North Shore, you do a tour, you do multiple properties every Tuesday, you actually will get a handle of what's happening in Evanston by doing that.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I went on tour yesterday. I saw a property that I thought was a fit for my client. We wrote an offer.
Right.
The same day.
That's what a realtor would have said 50 years ago. In the tech age, realtors don't think like that, but the Evanston realtors do.
And
Not all of them.
Not
all of them, but that's still a thing. In the city, it's just not a thing anymore. So North Shore is really it's a different reality, and I like it. It's got a great vibe.
Yeah, no, I really like it. I think it's, you know, I do work in the city sometimes, and I do a lot of work in Evanston and in Skokie, and it's a totally different world, like you're saying. But it's a nice pace.
It is a nice pace,
and you could have a collaborative negotiation with the other broker on the other side, and leave the deal where everyone gets what they want.
And Evanston also has a Naf grill, so that's always a reason that I travel down there.
Exactly. Not too far from the office.
Yep.
So what do you see for the future of Dreamtown? What's your thoughts on
Dreamtown continues to grow organically at our pace. We're not interested in being a company that has more agents than anybody else. Yeah. It's never been our goal, as you know.
Right.
Our passion is so corporations have two ways of growing. One way to grow is to get more brokers, and one way to grow is to grow the production of your existing brokers. Mm-hmm. The second way is harder, but it's more sustainable.
Because then they're more committed, and they're going to stick it out.
Because you get the better brokers. And we found in 2008, the amount of brokers who vanished from the business was incredible. And it was actually a really great corrections for the better brokers who stayed. And all the people who did not stay were probably not meant to be in the business. Right. And we're just like riding the era of shooting fish in a barrel.
It's true.
So our plan is to grow organically, and to continue to innovate and put together new programs for our clients, for our brokers. Like the other day, we got in touch with a farm in Michigan who does organic meat. You may have seen. You saw the message.
Email. Yeah.
Right. So this is the kind of no-brainers kind of things, right? That we create a organic meat delivery from a local sustainable farm that goes straight to the office. It doesn't cost us anything. The farmer is super happy. The brokers are super happy. And this is the kind of stuff that we do all the time to make life better for people.
Yeah, that really attracted me, like the types of things that you have. I mean, you even have like masseuse come to the office.
Right.
You have a car service available if you want to take your clients around.
Right.
I mean, that's a really nice feature. Messenger service.
Right.
Just arranging that just makes it so much easier.
Negotiate with the company. Say, hey, there's 400 people who are using you. Can you give us a flat rate? I sure can. And that was easy. And then your time is not well spent driving.
Correct.
Right? Because you don't want to earn the wage of a driver.
No.
Let the driver earn that, because your time and your clients are better served with you doing other things than driving their checks around.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
Simple stuff. None of this is difficult.
No, and it's not like just doing the most high-tech type of thing. It's smart and efficiency.
Right. It's like, I think you stated it correctly. One thing is the high-tech stuff that we do, The other thing is the low-tech stuff when we take on services. For example, the fact that we have handyman services and cleaning services and inspections, all the services that help you prep a listing from the company.
Yeah. It just makes it easier for the agents
and for your clients.
And the bottom line is it's better service for the clients.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think, it's a totally different type of product, this company. So it's interesting that it started because you didn't want to have another broker when you're buying your house, but look what it turned into. It's incredible.
It's just luck, man. Time and place. It's time and place.
It is.
Yeah.
So where can people find you and Dreamtown online and around the city?
So Dreamtown is at dreamtown.com. Myself is my first name, Yuval, Y-U-V-A-L, at dreamtown.com. If somebody wants to shoot me a line. On Instagram, I'm Marshual, M-A-R-S-H-U-A-L on Instagram. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, Yuval, it was a pleasure having you on Inside the Skev. And everyone, please subscribe. And thanks for tuning in.
And thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure, man.
You're welcome.